not long ago, and you heard Jim Sciutto reporting that he's hearing from U.S. officials that the Russians now have achieved aerial superiority over the entire region. The significance of that, and what do you see happening now?
Well, John, the significance of aerial superiority is not something that we did not expect. I mean, the Russians have the quality of the aircraft. The Russian, as Jim said, does not have the high altitude air defense kind of equipment to counter that. But if I can just go, that's going to be important in the early stages, but aircraft don't hold ground. Aircraft don't control people. So you've got to get a military force on the ground to control those cities. And one of the things that I'd comment on is, you know, since the days of Napoleon, the defender is believed to have a 3-to-1 advantage over an attacker, because the defender understands the ground where they fight. They have the ability to move from one prepared position to another, like Matthew Chance with that BMP platoon, and they have the ability to see and track enemy movements. There's another tenet since the time of Napoleon. If you attack everywhere, you attack nowhere. I mean, again, this country is the size of Texas. If the Russians are going to attempt to hold this entire country, many things are going to go into the further mathematics of combat. Certainly the Russians have the quality of the equipment and the size of the force. That has a quality all its own, but they don't have the training, the leadership, the environment of the fight, the will of the soldiers, and the support of the government of the population that Ukraine does. So I still think that Ukraine probably has an advantage in many areas. They can continue to fight, and the early days will be ugly. We've already seen that. It's been bloody. But we're already seeing the Ukrainian forces to take the fight to the enemy. The one other thing I'd suggest too, John, and maybe Steve can talk about this, Nick Payton-Walsh was down in Odessa last night, and he reported incoming fire there. The thing that concerns me about that area is it bumps up against Moldova, a non-NATO country, a former Soviet Socialist Republic of Moldova. They also have a breakaway republic inside of Moldova that most Americans don't know about, called Transnistria. I'm going along with Steve saying that the appetite for Mr. Putin is much bigger than just that half of or 2/3 of Ukraine that you just talked about. Maybe Steve could talk about Moldova as well.
We're going to talk about that in just a little bit. Steve, General, stand by for one moment. I want to go back to Brianna in Washington.
All right, joining us now is Democratic Senator Mark Warner of Virginia.